Level 100, Colonel. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. The rank of Colonel has finally been reached, and many buttholes have been breached of the enemy. Oh, goodness me, what a grind out. So yeah, finally reached Colonel. I did want to get the battle log up to show you my stats as it happened, but unfortunately, battle log is very tricky to get up sometimes. It's not available a lot of the time. So yeah, that's going to be something I'm going to discuss in a moment. But before I do, I'll get the battle log up now. I am on level 104, so I'm only 4 off, 4 ranked up from when I officially got this to rank Colonel. But you know, I wanted to go through my stats because somebody was asking me, what are your stats at the moment? Tell me everything, I want to know all. What it matters, I don't know, but the time played is 154 hours 16 minutes. Obviously, like I say, this is to level 104, so I don't know what it would have been at that time, but it wouldn't have been much different. Skill is 278.0, I don't know if that's good. Wins 56.78%. I don't think that's the best. Score per minute is 999.0. I think that's quite good. I don't know. Kills per minute is 1.04 and kill death ratio is 1.92. My best weapon is the M416, which I love. It's my favorite reliable gun. Mind you, I've kind of taken kindly to the SAR. The SAR? I don't know. I've taken kindly to that now. Do you know why? Because I like how it sounds. It sounds like war. It's just a gun that sounds like war. It sounds like a hand cannon when it fires off, and I love that. And it's nice to control as well. Good for long distance engagement, but slow firing. Yeah, score per minute is rank 1, kill death ratio is rank 1, accuracy hit percentage is rank 1, score is 2, and so on and so forth. So yeah, really happy with that. I'm intending to get to Commander now, which is level 140. Now that's going to be really difficult. That's going to be a grind out on a completely different level. However, I do think I will be able to perform that before Battlefield 1 comes out. But there's some things I really need to practice at, and I've been to the training ground to practice my aerial flight simulation. Obviously you can go to the firing range and go on the target practice and get better at aiming and stuff, but me, I really need to learn how to fly helicopters, jets, tanks, and sort of ground-based warfare I'm okay with, but it's things that end up in the air I'm pretty hopeless at. A few times I've jumped in a helicopter and I've thought, oh no, I don't want to be in the driving seat. In the pilot seat. I want to be in the on one of the guns, and unfortunately everybody's steamed in, and it's like, okay, go, and I think, oh dear, I'm going to fly 3 to 4 people to their death, and I do, unfortunately. So yeah, sorry about that, all those people, all those poor unfortunate passengers of mine who thought they were on the way to some kind of guns and glory. Now, I wanted to talk very briefly about Battlefield 1 and some of the implementations that I would like to see in that game that, Battlefield 4 has maybe missed a trick with. Some of the problems and the bugs and things like that Battlefield 4 still has that I find extremely frustrating, and I know other people find frustrating because I've googled it and it all seems very prominent, and I'd like to think that maybe they would have sorted these issues out. So these are going to be a few things that I'm hoping that DICE have looked into, and they're going to hopefully take out of the game and improve upon. The first one being is, as I mentioned, the battle log. Now, the battle log sometimes is nice to pop into to see how things are going, see your progression, see what your friends are up to, what missions you've got to undertake, your battle reports, leaderboards, things like that. And unfortunately, it seems to be unavailable a lot of the time. It's almost, I would say 95% of the time it's unavailable, and you get these rare little moments where you can grab it up when you don't need it. It always seems like when you don't need it, you can get it up as your thumb accidentally taps the the center button on your controller. So that's a bit of a bugbear, but it's not the biggest thing in the world. But there are some more important things in this game that frustrate the brains out of me, and one of them has only come into play since one of the recent patches. I never knew this was. I never actually experienced a problem with this until I sort of came away from this game for a while and came back, and that is the frame rate drop. Now, I don't know what it's like on Xbox One. PC, I know they had a couple of issues with it, but I've seen some, YouTube videos where people have said, oh, this is a problem with the frame rate drop. Basically, all you need to do is go into this, put that in there, take that out, and frame rate drop is actually sorted out. And I know that frame rates are so much better on PC anyway. There's many people say to me, switch to PC, you would love it. How well I would do, I don't know, because I'm not that good on PC, but I would imagine it is. I would imagine it's quite fun and balanced. So yeah, I would like to think that they've hopefully sorted out the frame rate issues, because it doesn't always drop out, but sometimes it does, and when it does, it feels really laggy. And it's not lag, particularly on 64-man servers when there's a lot of action taking place and a lot of explosions and a lot of people and just everything going on everywhere. It seems as if the frames completely drop out for about 5 to 6 seconds. And one of the things I've done that sort of helps it a little bit, and I don't know if it's a fluke, that is kind of running backwards a bit. You know, moving the left thumbstick backward and then moving forward. It's almost like it plays catch up. That's a pain in the ass, but you know, at the end of the day, it's not the biggest thing in the world, and it doesn't always affect you too much. It just pops in every now and then, and when it does, it's like an unwelcome visitor, like a Jehovah's Witness. Now, the other thing is spawns. I always remember with Battlefield 3, some of the spawns were, there always seemed to be more places to spawn. I never really used to play Team Deathmatch, I used to play Conquest, as I've said before, and it always seemed to me like there was many places to jump into. You know, you had about 3, 4, 5 options. As far as I remember, I could be completely wrong, but it seemed like you had so many more options to delve straight into a game. You'd have a helicopter, you'd have, you know, a couple of guys on the ground, and it always used to tell you when there was a legitimate threat. You know, if somebody was engaged in battle, it would almost say, you know, literally, don't jump in here, this is a dangerous place, find somewhere else. Not in so many words, and you would just choose somewhere a little bit safer, a little bit more of a, I guess, middle of the road kind of place, and you'd jump straight into the game and you'd be okay. The spawns in this are crap. In Conquest, particularly in Rush, oh god, the spawns in Rush are so bad. I've spawned next to an enemy claymore. I've spawned in front of a tank many times. I've literally spawned in front of the same tank about 3 times, and the only options it gives you is maybe that tank or right the way back at the beginning of the map, so you have to run all the way to the objective and, you know, dodge out the way of enemy sniper fire constantly. So I wish they would give you more spawns. They did in Battlefield 3. I don't know why they took a step back with that. I think it's a little bit pathetic, but again, it's not the worst thing in the world. It just kind of leads me away from playing Rush. I love Rush. I think it's a great game mode. I think it's the best game mode on here, but most of the time I don't play it simply because the spawns are just so crap. Now, one of the things that I think was in Battlefield 3 was slightly overpowered, but in this is, I guess, underwhelming, is, you know, the sort of share and care of your supply drops, you know, sort of like throwing ammo boxes down and ammo kits and first aid kits and things like that, and, you know, the selection of teammates who use defibrillators and things. It just seems as if that the rewards don't reap the benefits. And it's almost risk versus reward. Nah, it's too much of a risk. I'm not going to run that. I'm going to use a grenade launcher instead. Many times I've dropped down and I can see the assault teammates who are running assault next to me, and I'm thinking, please, somebody bring me back to life. I will say one thing though, interestingly, since a lot of Call of Duty players have come over to Battlefield, as it's only very cheap on the PlayStation Store. I don't know about anywhere else. I know the PC's selling it for very cheap, but on the PlayStation Store, it's dirt cheap. It's about £4 or something. There's a lot more Call of Duty players on here. I've noticed that. And one of the great things that they do, but they haven't quite got their head around it yet, is they do run defibrillators. But what they do is they just give you a, you know, just one pump. Boosh, there you go. Get up back into battle. And they don't charge them up. So they literally spawn you in with 20 health, which I think is the standard amount of health that you get given when you're defibrillated. Is that a word? Defibrillated? I guess it is. That you're almost immediately dead. You can get killed by a bloody smoke grenade, you know, landing on your head. That's annoying, but at the same time, at least they're trying it out, and that pleases me. But I just don't think the risk versus reward element of it leads people to carry those kind of things. It's like the amount of times I've run out of ammunition and I'm screaming out for a supply drop, you know, for an ammo box. I keep calling them supply drops. I keep screaming out for an ammo box, and nobody's willing to drop one down. It's almost like, I don't know why, you know, maybe there should be a few more points given if somebody wants to drop one down as opposed to what they already do. Because it's quite a slow process, just dropping an ammo box. It's almost a bit of a throw in front of you, put your gun away. Maybe people just don't want to be in that kind of vulnerable situation. But you know what, there probably are more things in this game that annoy me, but that's kind of really all that hits home with me. Frame rate drop, spawns, and the use of equipment, and there being such a lack of it. Whereas once upon a time, there used to be shit everywhere. You know, there was first aid boxes everywhere and ammo everywhere. Now it just seems to be claymores everywhere. So yeah, what kind of things would you like to see them improve on? And do you agree with me? Because if you do, you get a cookie posted to your door by a squirrel. Thanks for watching, guys. Much love. Apocalypse done.